Yes. We're here in Amsterdam at the Tobacco Theater at Crypto Economy event, and we're here with New Alchemy. How are you doing? Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Theron. I'm the Vice President of Client Marketing at New Alchemy. I work with all our clients and help get the word out about their projects.
Wow, you had a very interesting presentation. Actually, one of the most interesting things I found is the typology of these tokens. So we got four type of tokens actually. I only knew two, utility, security, but you got two extra types.
Sure, we break them out a little bit differently based on some of the clients and the needs we've had. So you got the straightforward utility token, which your project already exists. You're selling access to your project or a product, basically. The second type is a purchase agreement or SAFT, simple agreement for future tokens. Very similar to the first project, but you don't have a product yet. And so you're raising funds that will ultimately result in utility tokens being issued, but your product doesn't exist yet. You're raising funds to build it. The third is, I'll jump ahead to the fourth. The fourth is a pure security token. So that's tokenizing an asset, gold, oil, energy, whatever, and or equity stake in a company. And the third type of token is a combination of type 4 and type 1. You're issuing a security token, actual ownership in your company, to raise the funds to build your product, and then later issue a utility token for access to that product.
All right. Yeah, you guys work for a lot of ICOs. I think you mentioned 40, actually, 40 ICOs at the moment.
We have 40 in-house at the moment, in addition to the ones we've cleared out over the past 18 months or so. But yeah, we stay busy. All walks of life, all businesses, a bunch of different industries, everything from music projects to real estate to gig economy. You name it, we're probably working on it somewhere.
And actually, if you look at the numbers, the whole ICO market in 2018 is actually growing. I mean, you should expect it's a bearish sentiment in the market, but the ICO market is still growing.
It is continuing to grow at the same pace, if not a little bit greater. And I think it'll continue to do that, especially as the blockchain and crypto becomes more mainstream, and more people become aware of it and what it can do for their business.
And could it be an alternative for like normal VC?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's, I think there's many uses and many opportunities that we haven't even figured out yet. So, but absolutely, yes.
Yeah, we obviously know a Kickstarter, for instance. I mean, that's a platform you can put your money into a startup or a project or individual. Is it comparable to what happens in the ICO market right now, or is it a...
Absolutely. Crowdfunding is definitely part of it, in addition to the accredited investor piece. So the ICO market is a little bit of both, but many of the crowdfunding platforms, Indiegogo for instance, are getting more and more into ICOs and actually have an ICO platform of their own they're working on. So it'd be interesting to see. I think both platforms exist and can coexist over the long term, and it's just more opportunity for businesses out there to grow and prosper.
Perhaps, and actually we forgot, the first question is of course, what is actually your profile? Because actually you advise ICOs from A to Z, A to Z. From white paper until marketing, you do the whole thing, New Alchemy?
We do the whole thing at New Alchemy, yes. We do everything from token mechanics, your token economics, your white paper, light paper, all marketing services, everything from website design, blog, community management is big, obviously. Paid media, interestingly enough, the last day or two, Facebook came out and said, yeah, we're not going to ban crypto advertising anymore. So it's becoming more and more mainstream, but we do paid media. We do business plan development. We're working on an incubator program. There's a bunch of things going on at the company.
And what do you actually advise? Because, for instance, you're based in the US. You have the SEC with a very harsh regulation on security tokens. What do you actually advise ICOs who actually want to enter the US market with their sale?
So
it's a big market.
It's a huge market, and I hesitate because most of what we advise is if you have a great viable project, you've got a good solution, it belongs on the blockchain, you're not just adding blockchain in there to raise money, you've got a great team, you've got a great story as to how the blockchain will enable you to do something different that no one else is doing, then there really is no client we we would advise not to get into the U.S. market. There's opportunity there, everything from security tokens to utility tokens. Everyone can benefit from being in the U.S. market.
But in the end, I mean, I also spoke to U.S. ICOs, and they're scattered everywhere. I mean, they go to Panama, they go to the Cayman Islands, they go to Puerto Rico, I think. So,
nice sunny places to do business and issue your ICOs for sure. Yeah. It's it's just reinforcement. This is a global business. It's changing everything, and every market is in play and viable right now.
Yeah, but it would be nice if they can just stay at the West Coast or East Coast or South, or and just issue the ICO there. In the end, I mean, it would be
absolutely
more convenient.
More convenient, once all the regulations are in place and the market kind of settles down and everyone knows more what to expect from regulatory agencies, I think it will make everyone breathe a little bit more easily, and it will make it more convenient to do ICOs anywhere.
Do you have any signals that the U.S. regulatory bodies have more framework in place at the end of this year, or I mean,
I don't know. I don't know that the SEC does in particular, but it is interesting to see the states taking a stand and rising up, like the Wyoming example, for instance. And I think you'll see a lot of that happen in the U.S. probably before the SEC comes out with a hard and fast regulation. I think you'll see more states following Wyoming's example and taking a stand as they realize the benefit they can reap from becoming an ICO-friendly state. And I think that will drive regulation across the United States at the federal level probably faster than just about anything else.
Yeah, because of course also the USA, I mean, they want to rebuild or strengthen the economy, so they can't just leave blockchain technology out of it. I mean,
no, the SEC, the government, the federal government definitely needs to take a stand, wake up, and kind of move along and help facilitate doing ICOs, blockchain business, whatever you want to call it, within the U.S., making it friendly to the world. Because there are plenty of places, Malta a couple days ago, Malta, Gibraltar. I mean, there's other countries around the world who are realizing the benefit that this will have to the economy in general, and the fact that this is the future. They're going to grab it. So the SEC, needs to wake up. The U.S. government needs to wake up a little bit and say, okay, this is real. It's not going away. It's a tremendous opportunity that we need to capitalize on for the good of the country and the good of the citizens. And I think ultimately they will do that. I think the states will push them in that direction.
Maybe nice to for the Wyoming state. Maybe it's nice to paint a picture of what happens there actually, because it's like a safe haven for ICOs, or?
Yes, I'm not entirely familiar with the regulation. I haven't read it all, but essentially they have made Wyoming a crypto-friendly state, a place where they're not going to brand every token as a security, where they're going to come up with flexible regulations that allow people to do business in ways that make good sense. I mean, that's really all. At the end of the day, everyone wants to protect the investor, everyone wants to protect the company. We don't want scams out there. Wyoming will set up a legislation that will do that, and I feel optimistic that will serve as the blueprint for many other things to come in the U.S.
Last question: How did you develop like a scam filter? I mean, I saw this figure, like 80% of ICOs are scams, and I'm not sure if it's true, but I mean, you must have seen lots of projects that you say, yeah, that's a bit shady, or.
Yeah, it's there's no substitute to doing your research up front on those. New Alchemy receives a ton of opportunities, and we have a pretty extensive vetting process. From the beginning, the sales call, first the sales guys will take a pass at everything, and they'll look at it and say, yeah, okay. Things that make it through their initial look then goes through 3 or 4 different rounds inside the company, where the executives will assign an executive sponsor to a project. We'll talk to the principals. We'll ask them about their project. We'll have them explain it to us. We'll have them talk about why the blockchain is critical to their business. We'll have them talk about their team, why they think we put our potential clients through a pretty exhaustive vetting process to make sure that when they come on, it's a real project with real value. That we're proud to put the new Alchemy brand behind as well. I mean, because that's, you know, if we back a project, we want everyone to know that it's not a scam. It's a great concept with a great case for why the blockchain is important. We've got a great team, and at the end of the day, people who buy into that project are going to reap the benefits of being part of something viable and good and financially profitable.
All right. The very last question: what's your favorite ICO? Of course, one of your clients.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Too many.
There are too many. My recent most favorite ICO is Metronome. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a partner project that we were a part of. I think they've did some interesting things with the reverse auction in the initial sale and on an ongoing basis. I think it's a really cool project and definitely worth checking out.
All right, Metronome. All right, thank you very much and all the best, Theron, and hopefully see you at the event.
Absolutely. Thanks, Wessel.